Even in our own internal team, we often forget about the impact of genetic knowledge until we experience it in our own lives. And there's a particular case that always comes to mind that reminds me the power of the work that we do. I had once walked into our office and our science team was sitting there working on a cardiovascular project. They were looking at genomic profiles in our database trying to determine how do we better predict chronic disease, particularly when it comes to stroke and cholesterolemia. As I walked to see them, I was told, "We have to tell you that your friend Joe is about to have a stroke." And that hit me hard, saying, "How do you know this?" Now, knowing Joe, this is a man who doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, he is perfectly fit, has a perfect physique, he is very proactive about his health, and at the age of 48, it just didn't make sense. So when they showed me the genotype, and I looked at the science and the research I was doing and put the two together, they had showed me a huge red flag. This man was meant to be in the hospital soon if he wasn't going to make the right choices. So I then did what any friend would do. I immediately called, but I couldn't get through. So I tried calling him at home and eventually reached his wife, who told me something that completely floored me. Joe had just had a stroke and was in the hospital. This took the work we did and put it into context with a friend who outwardly looked like he had zero risk of any cardiovascular issue, was in the hospital at the young age of 48, having just suffered a stroke. It took him some time to recover because it hit him quite hard, and he of course wanted to change everything about his life, even though there was very little to change, so we had to dive into the root cause. And as we dove deeper, we understood that even people with the best habits, even people that are doing everything right, may have a genetic suboptimal ability that leads them to potentially having a chronic disease issue. This is where we believe it's important when it comes to chronic diseases to start early, to first understand what cards have you actually been dealt at a genetic level, what do you look like from the inside of the system level, therefore being able to understand what risks need to be mitigated, what systems need to be supported. If this route is taken to healthcare, there's no reason for many chronic diseases to actually happen.